Imagine a world where the lines between entertainment and politics blur, where a real estate mogul and reality TV star ascends to the highest office in the land. This isn't a plot from a Hollywood script. It's the real-life story of Donald Trump, whose rise to the presidency shocked the world and redefined the boundaries of American politics. From commanding boardrooms and captivating television audiences to steering the course of U.S. domestic and foreign policy, join us as we explore how Donald Trump parlayed fame and fortune into a successful bid for the White House, becoming one of the most polarizing figures in modern American history. Donald Trump was born on June 14, 1946 in Queens, New York, into a family well acquainted with real estate and construction. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer who instilled in him the values of business and negotiation from a young age. After attending the New York Military Academy, which honed his discipline and assertiveness, Trump graduated from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania in 1968 with a degree in economics. Trump's early business career began in his father's company, where he quickly learned the ropes of real estate development. His ambition led him to Manhattan, where he would make his mark with grandiose projects and lavish public persona. Among his notable early projects was the transformation of the Commodore Hotel into the Grand Hyatt, a move that established him as a major player in the city's competitive real estate market. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Trump's business ventures expanded to include not just buildings, but also casinos, golf courses, and other properties worldwide. However, his career was also marked by several high-profile bankruptcies and legal challenges, reflecting a career of both significant achievements and notable setbacks. His aggressive business style, characterized by bold moves and even bolder public statements, captured the media's attention, making him a household name long before he entered the political arena. Trump's business experiences, where he cultivated a reputation for being both a ruthless and savvy businessman, would later become a cornerstone of his political brand, portraying himself as an outsider who could reshape American politics. In 2004, Donald Trump's name became synonymous with reality television, with the premiere of The Apprentice on NBC. This reality show featured Trump as the omnipotent host and judge, where contestants competed for a chance to work for his corporation, showcasing his prowess as a business mogul and a no-nonsense leader. His catchphrase, "You're fired," quickly entered the American lexicon, embodying his tough, decisive nature and further cementing his image as a successful and commanding figure. The Apprentice and its Celebrity Edition spin-off not only bolstered Trump's fame, but also reshaped his image from that of a businessman to a national celebrity authority on success. The show portrayed him as a decisive leader, an image that appealed to many Americans. It provided him a platform to display a stylized version of business success that was compelling to television audiences, who often equated the on-screen persona with real-life capabilities. This exposure was invaluable. It kept Trump in the public eye and added a new dimension to his personal brand, one that he would leverage in his pursuit of the presidency. The success of The Apprentice proved pivotal as it translated his business-oriented brand into widespread public appeal, setting the stage for his political ambitions. The show not only increased his visibility, but also framed him as a figure capable of running complex organizations, a trait he touted during his later presidential campaign. Through The Apprentice, Trump mastered the art of media manipulation, understanding how to craft his public persona and appeal directly to the masses. This experience in the entertainment industry provided him with unique tools that were instrumental in his unconventional political campaign, where media savviness and direct public engagement were central to his strategy. Donald Trump's transition from a business mogul and reality TV star to a political figure began in earnest when he announced his candidacy for the U.S. presidency in June 2015. Descending the escalator at Trump Tower, Trump made a speech that would mark the beginning of one of the most unconventional and divisive campaigns in American history. He positioned himself as a populist outsider, pledging to "Make America Great Again," a slogan that resonated with many Americans feeling left behind by economic and demographic changes. Trump's campaign strategy was unconventional and highly effective. He utilized his media expertise to dominate the news cycle, often through controversial statements and tweets that ensured constant coverage. His approach capitalized on direct communication with the public, bypassing traditional media channels via social media, particularly Twitter, where he could speak directly to supporters without journalistic mediation. His campaign focused on strong immigration policies, economic nationalism, and a promise to drain the swamp of Washington, D.C., criticizing career politicians and the political establishment for what he viewed as failed policies and corruption. These themes struck a chord with a significant segment of the American electorate, who felt that traditional politicians no longer represented their interests. Despite significant criticism and controversy over his statements on race, gender, and other issues, Trump's message and manner appealed to voters frustrated with the status quo. His ability to tap into these sentiments, coupled with a targeted campaign strategy that focused on key swing states, ultimately led to his victory in the Electoral College, securing the presidency in November 2016, despite losing the popular vote. Trump's election was a watershed moment in American politics, illustrating the powerful impact of celebrity in political spheres and signaling a shift in the political landscape where outsider status could be turned into a formidable advantage. Donald Trump's tenure as President of the United States was as unconventional as his path to the office. Immediately upon assuming the presidency in January 2017, Trump began to implement a series of high-profile policies that would define his administration. One of his first and most controversial actions was the signing of the Executive Order 13769, commonly known as the travel ban, which restricted travel to the U.S. from several predominantly Muslim countries. This action set the tone for a presidency marked by hardline policies and frequent legal battles. Domestically, Trump focused heavily on economic policies. He championed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, which represented the most significant overhaul of the U.S. tax system in decades. The act lowered corporate and individual tax rates with the intent of stimulating economic growth and increasing job creation. While supporters praised it for boosting economic expansion and bringing a temporary reduction in unemployment rate, critics argued it disproportionately benefited the wealthy and increased the federal deficit. On trade, Trump adopted a protectionist stance, renegotiating long-standing agreements like NAFTA, which was replaced with the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. He also initiated a trade war with China, imposing tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods, which led to a series of retaliatory actions between the two nations. Environmental policies under Trump took a definitive turn from the previous administration, with the U.S. withdrawal from the Paris Agreement on climate change and significant rollbacks of environmental regulations. These moves were part of a broader agenda to deregulate industries and promote fossil fuel production, which he argued would lead to greater economic independence and job creation. Internationally, Trump's approach was similarly bold and often contentious. He engaged in high-stakes diplomacy with North Korea, participated in NATO discussions with a demand for increased contributions from allies, and recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, moving the U.S. embassy there from Tel Aviv, which had significant geopolitical repercussions. Throughout his presidency, Trump's direct communication style, particularly his use of Twitter as a platform to address supporters and critics alike, remained a hallmark of his administration, reshaping presidential communication and constantly fueling media cycles. Donald Trump's presidency was not only marked by bold policies and significant changes, but also by unprecedented controversies, including 2 impeachments, an historical first for an American president. The first impeachment, in December 2019, centered around accusations that Trump had solicited foreign interference in the 2020 U.S. presidential election from Ukraine. The charges stemmed from a whistleblower complaint that alleged Trump had withheld military aid to Ukraine as leverage to pressure the Ukrainian government into investigating Joe Biden, his potential political rival. The House of Representatives voted to impeach, charging him with abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. However, the Senate acquitted him on both counts in February 2020. The second impeachment came just a year later, in January 2021. After a tumultuous post-election period, Trump was charged with incitement of insurrection following the January 6th assault on the United States Capitol by his supporters, who were allegedly spurred by his claims of a stolen election. This event shocked the nation and the world, bringing stark attention to the power of presidential rhetoric and its potential to incite violence. The House impeached Trump a second time, but once again, the Senate trial resulted in acquittal. Beyond the impeachments, Trump's presidency was rife with other controversies, ranging from his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, which was criticized by many as being slow and ineffectual, to his frequent clashes with the media, which he often labeled as fake news. His administration's policies and his personal conduct, particularly his use of social media to attack opponents and spread misinformation, polarized public opinion, and dominated media coverage throughout his time in office. These controversies and the profound divisions they highlighted in American society are likely to be remembered as defining features of Trump's presidency, influencing political discourse and public trust in government for years to come. After leaving office in January 2021, Donald Trump continued to wield significant influence over the Republican Party and American politics. He maintained a high profile, often through statements and appearances at political rallies and events. His endorsement remains highly sought after by Republican candidates, demonstrating his enduring impact on the party's direction and electoral strategy. Post-presidency, Trump has also faced numerous legal challenges. These include investigations into his business practices by New York State, potential legal repercussions related to his handling of classified documents, and ongoing inquiries into his actions and rhetoric surrounding the January 6th Capitol riot. Each of these legal battles could have significant implications for his future political ambitions, including a potential run for the presidency in 2024. Moreover, Trump's post-presidential era is marked by his efforts to shape public discourse, particularly around election integrity. He continues to assert, without evidence, that the 2020 election was fraudulent. These claims have not only galvanized his base, but also sparked widespread debates and legislative actions regarding voting laws across the United States. As he remains a central figure in national discourse, Trump's activities and statements continue to attract immense media attention and public scrutiny. His political actions and legal entanglements are likely to keep him in the spotlight as he shapes and responds to the political landscape. Donald Trump's presidency has left an indelible mark on the fabric of American political life. His tenure was characterized by profound shifts in policy and a distinct style of leadership that both energized supporters and deeply polarized the nation. As a president who often bypassed traditional political norms, Trump's approach to governance, his direct communication with the public via social media, and his confrontational style have reshaped the expectations and boundaries of presidential behavior. One of the most significant aspects of Trump's legacy is the transformation of the Republican Party. His brand of politics, combining economic nationalism with a populist approach, has redefined the party's identity and policy priorities, a shift that continues to influence its direction even after his presidency. Moreover, Trump's judicial appointments have had a lasting impact on the American legal landscape. His administration succeeded in appointing 3 Supreme Court justices and numerous federal judges, ensuring a long-term conservative influence on legal rulings that will shape American law for generations. Internationally, Trump's policies have altered the United States' relationships with allies and adversaries alike. His America First doctrine led to a reevaluation of international agreements and alliances, the effects of which are still unfolding in global politics. The divisions highlighted during his presidency, on issues ranging from immigration to racial justice and public health, continue to influence political discourse and policymaking. Trump's rhetoric and actions, particularly his claims about election fraud and the events leading to the Capitol riot, have sparked a national debate about the integrity of American democracy and the role of truth in the public sphere. As America and the world grapple with the consequences of his presidency, Donald Trump's legacy remains a topic of intense discussion and analysis. Whether viewed as a transformative figure or a divisive leader, his impact on American life and politics will be studied and debated by historians, scholars, and citizens for many years to come. As we reflect on Donald Trump's unprecedented journey from real estate magnate and reality TV star to the President of the United States, it's clear that his influence on American politics and culture is profound and lasting. Trump's ability to command media attention, alongside his unorthodox approach to leadership, has not only reshaped the presidency, but also redefined what many thought possible in American politics. His tenure brought to the forefront deep-seated divisions and prompted a national introspection about the values and future direction of the United States. Donald Trump's legacy is a tapestry of complexity, marked by significant achievements and equally significant controversies. From transformative policies and Supreme Court appointments to impeachment trials and the polarizing public discourse, his impact will be a subject of study and debate for generations. As we move forward, the lessons learned during his presidency will undoubtedly continue to influence American political life and governance. What do you think about Donald Trump's impact on America and the world? Do you see his presidency as a moment of change, disruption, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this exploration insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more discussions on pivotal figures in history and current events.